Y'all see these curls? Y'all see these curls though? Do you see them? This is day 8 hair. We still going strong? Hey peeps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla Shay, if you don't know already. So if you can't already tell, we're gonna be getting to this hair, okay? More specifically, how to keep your wash and go going long and going strong. I'm talking for at least a week. This is day 8 hair. Day 8! Look at the curls. They still going strong, still defined, still juicy, still moisturized, bouncy. I'm gonna show y'all how I am able to maintain it for this long. If you're interested, keep on watching. So first and foremost, I wanna start off by saying that it has taken me years to get to this point with my wash and go. So if you are at that point where you're like frustrated with your hair because you feel like, you know, it's just not lasting for as long as you wanted to, be encouraged. When it comes to hair, it takes a while to figure out what works, what doesn't, and especially for every individual hair type. So this is what works for me, and it should work for most of you watching. If you want your wash and go to last very long, the first thing that you want to do is start off with clean hair. I know that may sound obvious, but some people actually don't start off their wash and goes with clean hair. Sometimes people do a co-wash and then they put in product. Sometimes people dampen their hair or spray their hair and proceed to add products. But for me, I find that starting off with freshly shampooed and conditioned hair is the best, because I'm essentially starting from scratch and I'm not layering products on old products. I just essentially give my products a chance to work the most effectively. So it's definitely best to start off with fully clean hair so that your products can work the way that they're supposed to. This is one of the most important things that is key. One of the secrets to making sure that your wash and go lasts for a very, very long time is making sure that you are using highly defining curl products. Every hair type is different. This one is more on you to test and see what works for your particular hair. I have found what has worked for my particular hair, and let's just say I'm running with it. If you haven't already checked out my review on the Dew, the Big Papa Gel, and the Mousse Def, I will go ahead and link it down below. That's actually the combination that I'm using now. Something that's so great about these products is they don't leave my hair crunchy. But you see how defined my hair still is, right? You see it. My hair is not dry. It's still bouncy. It's still flowy. If a certain product doesn't really bring out all of that definition, then your wash and go isn't going to last as long as it needs to. You need something that's going to keep your hair very, very defined for a good amount of time. So like I said, you might have to test and see. But if you haven't already checked out the Dew, okay, what is you doing? The Dew should sponsor me. What you think? I think they should sponsor me. And you just want to make sure that you avoid any products that's going to leave any flaking, any residue, because that's going to mess up the whole thing. By day 3, you're going to want to wash out your hair, and we don't want that. So anything that could mess up, you know, the presentation of your hair, whether it's crunch, whether it's flake and residue, just go ahead and move that to the side, maybe the trash. Get you some products that you know is going to leave your hair in the best state possible. Okay, so I know I said that the last tip was really important, but like this tip is like super duper important. And this is what some people, they get messed up on. If you're trying to keep your wash and go for a long time, especially for at least a week, do not, I repeat, do not manipulate your hair until it's fully dry. And when I say fully dry, I mean the roots to the tips. Just leave old girl alone. This is such a game changer because it allows your hair to like fully set. If you are manipulating your hair while it is still wet, even at the roots, that is the perfect recipe for frizz. It is the perfect recipe for taking away some of that curl definition. I know it's tempting to style up your hair, and of course in some some situations you might have to just style it, but if your goal is to actually keep your wash and go for a very long time, just let it sit. And for me, my temptation was doing the stretching, because I don't like the way my hair come out when I originally first do my wash and goes. I like to stretch out my hair, because if not, I'll be looking like Frederick Douglass, and I don't want to look like Frederick Douglass. What is also super important to keep in mind is that since we're waiting for this to fully dry and we want to leave it alone, it is best to not do your hair before bed if you're gonna let it air dry. If you're diffusing or sitting under a hood dryer, that's different. But if you cannot guarantee that your hair is going to be fully dry before bed, girl, don't do it. Just wait it out, okay? Because you sleep on them curls, girl, it's not gonna be too good for you when you wake up. So just make sure that your hair is fully dry before you manipulate it and before you sleep on it. Let's take a quick pause. You've been here for a minute now. Actually a few minutes. It's only right if you join the family. Please go ahead and press that red subscribe button and turn on the bell notification button so that anytime I post, you're gonna get that notification. With that being said, we're gonna move on to the next tip. Something that I know a lot of us curly girls do is we like to volumize our hair. We like to use that good old pick. The pick is great for, you know, teasing the roots, but that's the key, is teasing the roots. I have made so many mistakes in the past with, you know, trying to voluminize my hair, and I ended up like messing up my curls because I would like go in at the wrong places. I would be like combing out the top, and that is not what you want to do. If you are going to volumize your hair with a pick, you want to go in at the roots. You don't want to ever comb out the ends. You don't ever want to comb out the top of your head. Do not disturb those curls. I repeat, do not disturb those curls. You want to keep those curls intact, because those are the curls that everyone's gonna see. Even if your roots are looking crazy, mine is looking a little crazy, which I can't tell, because all you see are these curls at the end. All you see are these curls at the top, because I ain't touch them. And that's what you want to do, is leave them as is. What's underneath these curls? It's nobody's business. Nobody gotta know. This is why when I'm doing my wash and goes, I always make my part where I want it for the first week. Whenever, you know, I'm applying my products, I make the part and then I do my little shingling method with the part where I want it. The reason why I do that is because once my curls dry, they set. If I were to now move my part to another side of my head, to the middle of my head, right after they've set, then I'm going to cause frizz, right? Because now I have to disturb my curls. I'm probably gonna have to separate some curls. Ooh, child, we don't want that. Make sure that you kind of have a sense of like where you want your parting to be. Are you like a middle part girl? You a side part girl? Like what you want? You gotta know what kind of part you want ahead of time if you don't want to end up disturbing your curls 2-3 days from after you have already put in your products. Don't you go lay down nowhere without your bonnet. If you're laying down on particular couches, particular fabrics, you just set yourself up for frizz, okay? If your hair is not covered, don't expect it to be defined for super long. All of that moving around with your hair uncovered, it creates friction. Chances are, depending on whatever fabric you're laying on, it can tug on your hair. And what does that equal? Say it with me now. Frizz. We don't want that, okay? We want our curls to stay defined, because that's how we get this wash and go lasting for longer. So as tempting as it is, just make sure that you are going to sleep covering your hair. I know this is tempting to start styling your hair soon after you do a wash and go, because there's like so many styles you can do. However, if you want your wash and go to have some longevity, you gotta pump the brakes. I would recommend styling down the line when your hair starts getting frizzy. It's the same reason why I would recommend this for if you get like a protective style like braids, right? When it is just done, it's fresh. Hairs aren't out of place. But over time, naturally, of course, your hair will start getting a little bit out of hand. They might come out of place a little bit. This is actually the best time to start your styling, because when you start styling, when your hair starts getting, you know, a little bit less neat, a little bit more frizzy, it is actually way easier to cover cover up that frizz. It's actually way easier to cover up the fact that your hair isn't, you know, as fresh and defined as it once was when you do the styling at that time. So give your hair the moment to shine in its full definition in the beginning. You know how long it took me just to slick this part down? Today, day 8. I didn't need to do nothing in the beginning. I waited till it got a little puffy in this vicinity before I started doing something. But essentially, you just want to wait it out and do all your styling later down the line. Now, like I said, I'm on day 8. So because I'm on day 8, I feel like I have full freedom to just do whatever I want now. Okay, I'm gonna be doing updos this weekend. I'm gonna be doing downdos. Is that a thing? Be a little bit patient. Let your hair flourish as is before you start getting to all the styling. Last but not least, this is super duper important. When you are handling your hair, whether you're styling, you know, whether you're stretching your hair, using scrunchies, be gentle with your hair because it really doesn't take long to disturb your curls. It's sensitive. If you want to keep that curl definition, take your time. If you have a scrunchie in your hair, don't just be pulling it out. You gotta be gentle. Take that thing out with some care. Sometimes scrunchies do get, you know, a little bit tied up and tangled with your hair. Don't just like pull, because you do that, you're gonna end up with frizzy hair. So just make sure that you're being gentle, even when you're styling and stuff like that. Take your time if you can, because I know sometimes we're in a rush, but if you can, be real smooth with it, real gentle with it, because the more gentle you are, then the more you're going to be able to keep that definition and not disturb your curls. All right, y'all, so those are my little tips and tricks on how you keep your wash and go going for at least a week. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Meet me down in the comments. Let me know if you are going to take any of these tips with you, if you already use any of these tips, and if you have tips of your own. Please join the family. You feeling that tugging in your heart? Don't fight it, okay? Go ahead and press that red subscribe button and turn on that bell notification button so that anytime I post, you'll be up to date. I appreciate you all. God bless you, and I'll see you guys in my next video next Sunday. Deuces.